Raimundo from CrawlerInnovations. Today I'm out visiting a good friend, Carvin, who is a founding member of the Rack City Drift Team, as well as the creator of RC Cut and Paste. So you can see on the shirts that we're wearing today. I met Carvin through at Drift America RC, and he was doing the stickers for them. And as we got to know one another, and I'm always looking to help another quote mom and pop type business out, that's how CrawlerInnovations started, as well as the quality was top notch, very good. And so we've slowly been, basically everything that used to be done by other companies is being brought to RC Cut and Paste. And he's available to do other work as well, so it's not like we want to hide him. We're here to showcase him. He does have an Etsy store with the RC Cut and Paste as well. So it's and there's more that he does. I do want to highlight, one of the things that he made that I'm picking up today are skins. This is for a red cat hauler. This is actually for the trailer. That's for the bed, or for the hauler bed. So these are something that we'll be installing, and you'll see in some upcoming videos, as well as he's got other stickers for the 903 design. And then all of these are, they're peel and stick. They're already pre-cut. They're ready to go. So it makes it so much easier to decorate your car in your own way. And anyhow, without further ado, this is Carvin.
Greetings, everyone. As Edmundo mentioned, my name is Carvin Thompson, one of the founders of Rack City, and then the founder of RC Cut and Paste. I was asked to mention a few other things that I do, because we had some dialogue earlier. Aside from my hobbies, or Rack City and RC Cut and Paste, I am a teacher. I teach high school science. Aside from education, I consider myself a healer as well. So I've studied Reiki, craniosacral therapy. I'm also a licensed massage therapist, and I'm also a certified athletic trainer. So aside from RC and these hobbies, I guess you could say I'm a hobbyist, or I follow my interest in.
Married, family man with children.
Married,
as well.
family man, wife. I have a baby, 3-year-old, and then I also have a baby on the way that is due in October. So a lot of moving pieces in my life, but we are here. RC Cut and Paste specifically is grateful for this opportunity to partner with CrawlerInnovations. 1, 2, also grateful for the friendship that I've made with Edmundo and other people that works for CrawlerInnovation, as well as the business. Been very appreciative of the support. As he said, we are mom and pop, so we are standing in what used to be my dining room. So I am doing this out of the house. Family, my wife is super involved and helpful. My daughter even come in here and sit on my lap and help me cut out stickers or request her own stickers, so they all are supportive of this journey.
And one thing too is all this artwork and painting was done by Carvin and his wife. So you can see that the creativity flows through the family, as well as some of the beautiful colors and artwork. So awesome stuff, man. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for inviting us here. Let's talk about some of these liveries, some of these different cars. I'm going to start with this one. This one caught my eye. And what body is this?
All right, so this body specifically is by A Plastics. This is A Plastic wide body, Fox body Mustang.
Oh, it is.
And so
it's okay.
It is a Rack City police cop car. I thought it was a cool idea because Rack City, so it's like the city of Rack City has a police department. So that was kind of the theme.
So
as far as the paint, I was looking.
I see it now with the headlights and taillights. That's one reason why I was waiting to ask, because it caught my. I was like, wait a minute, what is that? That is very cool.
I even designed a police department Rack City badge that I thought was cool. So yeah, I just took inspiration from different squad cars. 44 is, you'll see that 44 is on most of my cars. 44 is a number that I wore when I played sports. I was a 3 sport athlete in high school, and then I went to college to play college football. And so 44 was my number. Later on, found out that my father also wore 44 in high school. So, and I picked 44 prior to knowing that. So you'll see 44 is on all my vehicles. So yeah, this is.
That's cool. Thank you for sharing that.
So this was just a side project. The team never requested to have that shell, but just a side project that I wanted to do.
Nice. Next, we have
Well, Edmundo, let's do this. I know I should have did them the other way.
okay.
I wanted to show the shells in order from chronological order.
Let's do that. Let's do it the way you'd like. Absolutely.
And so RC Cut and Paste, backstory, RC Cut and Paste was never an intention of mine. So when we got into the hobby, Rack City, when we got into the hobby, was during COVID, so it was 2020, and there wasn't a lot of product and merchandise. It was hard to get shells, it was hard to get wheels, it was hard to get graphics and liveries and like that. So we went down a rabbit hole of figuring out how to get graphics, from getting commercial graphics people to print our stuff, etc. And so eventually, until I linked up with another small business, local graphic design and print company that services the hobby. And so once we made that connection, it was a green light for us, because we had so many ideas.
Nice.
And we didn't know how to produce them. Aside from that, in the drift world, there's about 4 or 5 people who create graphics and stickers for the hobby. And so two of the big companies are overseas. And so with communication, with
time change,
turnaround time, all the things, it was a bit overwhelming. We even got scammed one time. So I had the programs on my computer, and I just started playing around with it, and it turned into something. And so I was telling Edmundo I wanted to kind of go in chronological order. And so this is actually the first livery that I designed.
Now, what car is this? What kind is this?
So this is an S15 Origin Lab. So Nissan Silvia S15 Origin Lab, produced by Pandora RC. This actually is not my shell. This was gifted to me. So the last driver profile we did with JJ, who's on my team, this is actually his shell. He wasn't a fan of the white. He said I could have it if I didn't touch it. And then I gifted mine away. And so, again, like I mentioned, RC Cut and Paste was not the plan as far as a company. I was just trying to create graphics for my team, which others caught wind, and it kind of turned into a company. So that was
That's
just
awesome, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's really good.
So I'm self-taught. Self-taught on the printer, self-taught on graphics, a lot of YouTube, a lot of videos, a lot of
Google University.
Google, just looking up different designs, different styles, and looking for inspiration. So this one, I would say, is not my best work, but
It sure looks great. I love the colors.
But I do love the colors, and then they do look good when they're all together.
Agreed, very much.
This one here was actually a collaboration project with another team that used to go to Dark. Shout out to Team Adjacent. So Team Adjacent and Rack City were the first 2 teams, or the only 2 teams at Drift America. So we had an idea of doing a collaboration livery. So the livery was the same, except their shell said Team Adjacent on it. And so this was just a collaboration project, just something fun. I'm not even sure if the whole team actually did this except me and my brother, but.
What body is that one?
So this body is a Liberty Walk Mustang, and this is produced by MST.
That's nice. It looks really good. You got the hardware over the flares and just the different colors, the vibrant colors pop.
Thank you. And these colors, we were at was at Fuel Fest, and one of the teammates from Jason walked up to me, and he pitched the idea for the livery. He had a shirt on that had these colors, and he was like, "What about these colors?" And I was like, "That's a great idea." So we just kind of went with it.
Do the mirrors come with the body, or are those something different?
The mirrors, what I love most about MST shells, it's going to come with everything.
Okay.
And so most MST shells is one piece, and meaning the bumpers, the front bumper and the rear bumpers attached. It did come with the mirrors, and it did come with the wing. So MST is one of my favorite shell producers.
Nice.
Next we have, I don't even know what to call this one, but this was, I feel like I was gaining some traction with designing. When I designed this one, this was, I can't even remember, but our team had just grown a little bit. So Rack City does have members all across Texas. We do have 2 members, 3 members that are in different states. So our Texas chapter had just grown, and so what was special about this livery, every team member has the same livery, but a different color.
Yeah.
And so there's a red version, there's a blue version, there's a purple, green, pink, and so I chose yellow. As you can see, the 44, and this is also an MST Rocket Bunny 86. And so again, the MST shell, it comes with the
Toyota GR86.
Yes, the GR86. It comes with the mirrors. It came with the light buckets and the wing. I pride myself on my work when it comes to shells. And so this shell was me kind of getting a little more.
And it's well detailed. The sticker.
Adding detail. So this is real wire mesh, coloring the lenses to match the livery. It has lights, and I actually did a roll cage. This was, I think, my first attempt to do a full roll cage. This one was out of straw. I have upgraded to styrene now. And so this one was a fun show for me.
It's nice, man.
And so I am going in order as far as how they were produced. Another thing, as far as colors, I'll get inspiration for design. I'll send it to the team and say, hey, what colors, guys? What do you think? And I'll send them different delivery on different colors until we all kind of come to an agreement. I would like to do more exotic colors, but most of us are, when we do team projects, you're kind of responsible for painting and installing your own livery. And so I try to keep the colors simple, a color that we all can match, and it's not a ton of work for everybody. JJ just said no more white, so we've stayed away from white. This shell is produced by A Plastics. This is a S13 Odivia. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong. And so there is a version of the S13 where it has an Odyssey front end. So the rear is actually traditional S13, and then the front is what they call Odivia. This was produced by A Plastics. What was unique about this shell, the shell is black, is this is a full wrap. Something I've never done before, something I've only done once. It was a lot of work. Some of the teammates who had...
So there's no paint on that?
The paint is black, so where you see the black is the car.
Okay.
And then this is a full wrap. So this is one.
Oh man.
So this is one piece, the hood's one piece, the roof, the trunk is one piece.
Do you have any tips or secrets for installing? And do you use a heat gun, or is it more like, I mean, is this one, like, can it be applied with almost like window tint where they put something down and you can kind of squeeze it and then to get it on, or no?
So both.
Really?
Both methods depending on whatever your preference is. And so depending on the shell, just kind of looking at the contour and the lines, I will do a wet method. Wet method meaning I have a spray bottle, fill it up with water, and 1 drop of soap. And so that's the wet method. I'll spray the body once, I'll spray the back of the livery, I'll install it, get it fit where I want it, press the water out, working from the inside out. So up or down or to the outside. And then also you can do a heat method. I do not recommend a heat gun, but I use a blow dryer. And so the blow dryer helps, and then I'll do both. And so I'll install the heat method, and then I'll come back with the blow dryer to kind of get the stickers to kind of shrink and
it's
go
easy
into the
for a
lines.
heat gun to ruin a sticker very quick.
I've even seen recently
or ruin the body altogether. Not taking the
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Or speak over you, but yeah, I've done it, so experience.
Recently, I had some one scale guys come out that I did some work for, and they attempted to install, or I attempted to install with a heat gun, because I think they said they were using a heat gun, and it completely ruined the ink. And so, and I've never seen that. You can be very aggressive with this ink, and so my printer is a UV ink printer, so doesn't fade. Ink will eventually fade in the sun, but it takes a long time to fade, and it's very textury and it can withstand a little bit of.
We've got it on a bunch of crawlers, and they're on all our drifters, so I mean, they hold up well. They really do, and the pre-cut makes it so much easier.
And so the pre-cut with RC cut and paste, having pre-cut graphics was one of the things that I was looking forward to offering to the community. And so we are printing specifically on clear vinyl. So what you would see at displays in windows or things like that, or at stores and stuff. I believe one scale, they actually use like a white vinyl, and then they'll just have a bleed line. Bleed line meaning their cut line will be inside the color, so you actually don't see the white. That doesn't really work well for RC because of the scale, so we're actually printing on clear vinyl, and so we're backing the top layer with a white ink. And so in order to do this, you have to have a printer with white ink to be able to print color on clear vinyl.
Gotcha.
So the pre-cut.
That makes sense, because your stickers pop, all of them.
And so the pre-cut actually cuts down install time. And so one of the first liveries we ever done was not pre-cut, and it may have taken 3 hours to install it, where me being not a novice installer, I can install a livery in about 45 minutes. So I love the pre-cut option. Next one we have is, this is an MST A90 Supra Rocket Bunny. I told you guys MST was one of my favorite shells. Again, it comes with the mirrors, it came with the wing, I believe, and it comes with the light buckets, and it's one piece. So the front and rear bumper is all together. So this was my first attempt on using chrome vinyl. So my printer has the capability of printing on chrome and holographic, and so this also was a joint collaboration. Livery says Slide City, and so there is another team in the United States, Slide Assassins. They're out of Colorado, Texas, specifically. They may be in other places. So I'm kind of like an honorary member of Slide Assassins. If you guys see this, they know what I'm talking about. Don't deny it. So I'm an honorary member of Slide Assassins, and so we just had an idea of doing a joint collaboration, me and one of the local drivers, and it kind of turned into a full team project. And so there's a few of us that has this shell. It's supposed to be just kind of something me and him were doing together, and we kind of was like, well, if you want one, get one. And so my first attempt on printing and cutting on chrome. And so The chrome that I actually use now is actually a different material. It actually is very similar to the clear stuff that I use as far as its pliability. It's easy to cut, it's easy to install, and it's very adhesive. And so if you can kind of see this one, some of the pieces are starting to peel. And this was, like I said, this was a form of chrome that I was using. And so this is fluorescent yellow by Spastics.
Looks good. So it's so vibrant. And research and development too.
It took a while to figure out how to cut the chrome. Next we have I think it's the team's favorite. This is what they call the cherry blossom. And so this is one of the liveries that most of the team is running now. I did this one last year. Cobalt green Tamiya. This body is Pandora. So this is an S15 BN Sport BLS body produced by Pandora RC. And so I am also a competitive
I was just going to
comp
ask you,
driver.
was this the body that you took to Worlds last year?
This is not the body I took to Worlds, but it kind of gave me a different, after going to Worlds last year in October, kind of gave me a different perspective on the type of body or shell I need to run as far as competition wise.
And where'd you finish in 2024? Because you were another driver that earned his way to the World Championship.
At dark, I can't remember. I think I finished middle of the pack. I missed 2 events, and so I think I finished middle of the pack, like 3rd or 4th, or probably even lower. I'm not sure. But based on the rules, I qualified to go to Worlds. At Worlds, I can't remember specifically, but it was probably the top 100 out of, I think they had 180 drivers last year. So probably finished middle of the pack, beat the first guy, lost to the second guy in competition.
Learned a lot though.
Yeah, we came back, Texas in general, just, we took a big group to Worlds out of Texas, probably at least 10 to 12 drivers, out of all the tracks, the drift tracks in Texas. And so everybody came back enlightened and kind of hungry. I felt like it was kind of enlightening. It's like, all right, now it's time to get back to work. And so this is the shell that I've been comping with this year, even though it was last year's livery.
Looks great.
Lighter. One of the big things that you'll see is a shell with a short rear end. Kind of help gets in zones and not hitting barriers and things like that. And so it was wide enough for the current chassis that I'm running, as well as it had a nice short rear bumper on.
Nice. I love this one. This one's one of my favorites. It's JJ, because like you said, the whole team has it, and I'm a big fan of the Japanese cherry blossoms and just beautiful nature in bloom. So I like that, and the color, everything that you guys, and when you've come out in the past too to different events, and you get to see them all together, it's a wonderful sight. Good work.
Thank you. And so this one, I don't have a name for it. This is actually the shell that I did take to Worlds last year. This is a BMW E36 wide body produced by A Plastics. I really love this shell because it's super wide. It's actually shorter. It's actually shorter than the S15 that I
really.
Yes. So it's super wide and it's short. I really like this shell. I added a lot of detail. I knew we was going to World, so I was kind of attempting to showcase the team as well as my craftsmanship as a builder. And then I wanted something to kind of stand out and pop and for people to notice. And so I went with this shell, and Yeah, I love it.
That's very nice. It's very nice. The details and the way that the rivets on the back, the window, the way everything's cut out, very skilled detail. Very nice. Metal mesh.
And then lastly, this is a Traxxas Corvette. This is a Traxxas Corvette, and I went with a more FD style livery.
So actually, it's a Traxxas body?
This is a Traxxas body, yes.
Oh, okay.
This is a Traxxas Corvette. This was actually a side project. This body was gifted to me, and I just was like, why not try something? But it's actually kind of got some popularity amongst the team. I had a few, and they've been very graceful with me. Because if I get an idea, I'll reproduce it and I'll show it to the team, but I don't pressure them to do what I'm doing. Or then if they do request it, hey, just do it at your own pace. One of the things about our team is we respect people's time, we respect people's money. And so never feel pressure in their individuality. So never feel pressure to do what everybody else is doing or even at the same speed as everybody else. So this was just a random side project that I did, and this is actually the shell I'm running right now just because I've been doing a lot of tuning on it, so I haven't switched shells.
Okay. So is that your current comp car underneath it?
Yes, that's my current comp car.
Do you want to share that at all?
Sure. All right, so this is, I don't know if you guys can see, this is a
You'll definitely do some B-roll to get better footage.
This is a Yokomo RD2 that I fully hopped up. Now, mind you, so essentially it's a, Yokomo also has what they call the SD3. So Rookie Drift 2.0 and then the Super Drift 3.0. And so I basically upgraded my Rookie Drift 2.0 to kind of mimic the Super Drift 3.0. Hindsight, had I known that if the Super Drift, the SD3 was coming out, I would have done that, but here we are. And so I prefer, as far as electronics, I'm running.
Is that the Super G chassis plate? Which chassis is this?
This is a Yokomo chassis.
Oh, it's a Yokomo chassis plate? Okay.
So all the upgrades are Yokomo. I am running Rev D electronics, so Rev D servo, Rev D gyro, motor, and ESC. I've really liked how
This still has this one has the what do they call that one? It's not the slide rack, that's the
it is a bell crank, aluminum bell crank.
what diff do you have in it?
I'm running a ball diff, running a Yokomo ball diff, and in a high motor position.
What turn motor?
I'm running a 13.5.
Okay.
And then, like I said, Rev D ESC. The reason I went with Rev D, I bought the Rev D servo first. And when they introduced the gyro, I thought it was a no-brainer that I'll get the gyro that they've actually produced for the servo. The reason I actually went with the ESC in the motor, their ESC has a Bluetooth programmability, so I actually Bluetooth it to my phone and I could program an ESC for my phone. So no adapters, no Wi-Fi modules, no Bluetooth modules. I just sync it to my phone. I can pair headphones and I can tune my ESC.
Nice.
And so to me, simplicity and being able just to be on the side of the track and tune my ESC was a no-brainer for me. I wish I could actually do that for the servo, but.
What's going on with the shocks? What are those?
So these shocks are designed by RC Art. They're called UC dampers. And so the synopsis of the shocks is there's actually there's really no internals. There's an internal springs that kind of help with the dampening, yes. And so the shaft actually comes all the way through.
And not the top. That's interesting.
And so what I like about these most is there's very little maintenance needed. So they're very consistent as far as easy to build and then consistent as far as driving. And so in most situations, comp drivers will rebuild their shocks every comp. And so once your dampers go flat or they change in pressure or recoil, it changes how the car drives. And so I've noticed that I have the most consistent suspension with these dampers on.
Interesting. Did they come with tuning springs or are those extra?
So the springs I'm running are also Rev D. So running Rev D springs. And you can pick. They are the UC damper is actually a conversion. So they have a conversion kit for the Yokomo big bores or the TRFs, and so these are actually TRF conversion. So if you already have dampers,
TRS for what, Tamiya?
Yeah, the Tamiya TRFs.
Okay.
If you have a damper set, you just buy the conversion kit and you can convert your dampers to the UC dampers.
Nice, very nice build. Thank you, man, for sharing it with us.
Thank you. And then I'm a big fan of the black. I like the colors, but
I like it too.
I think the black just makes it look sleek and stealth and I guess more aggressive. I do like the colors, but I just went with the black for.
Whoa, nice. Boss man brought out a body.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do this one. All right, so this body has seen, this body's actually on its second life.
Is that a Toyota Cressida?
No,
What
this is actually a Nissan Skyline 2000. So this is actually a pre-painted body from Killer Body.
Okay.
This is a Killer Body Skyline. And so this was actually one of my very first shells when I started drifting. Not knowing what I know now, it was probably too narrow, too heavy, all the things. So ran it for a while. It is a black shell. So if you are into RC hobbies, you know black shells show, or even black cars in general, shows a lot of blemishes. So the car was starting to look a little beat up. And so one of my teammates, Coco, is a master. I don't even know what to call him, but he's a master
modeler.
He's a master modeler.
It certainly looks like that because there is so much detail that's going on here. Wow, that's awesome.
And so the Coco actually has his own version of this shell. He has an E30, and I gave him this shell. I said, "Hey man, here, just do whatever you want." He's like, "What do you mean, what do you want?" I said, "I'm feeling Mad Max, Death Race kind of vibes. You know, just do whatever you want." And it took him a couple of months, and I was just, "Hey man, what's going on with the shell?" And he's like, "I don't know if I'm ready to show it to you." I was like, "You got to show me something." And this is where he was. And he was like, "I feel like I need to do more." And I was like, "No, I need it now. Please bring me that shell." So it's essentially a shell.
So he wanted to even do even more than
He
this.
wanted to do more than this, yeah.
Wow.
And I told him it was perfect. And so it's kind of like Shelf Queen or showcase of red events or things like that. I'll put it on a dummy chassis and just have it on display. A display chassis and have it on display. But he did a phenomenal job.
Yes, he did.
Bossman did a B-roll, so you guys get to see it later. But one of my favorite shells.
Wonderful. Anything else that we need to cover, sir? Okay. Well, we're gonna wrap up this segment of it because there's more that we'll share. There's more bodies and RC stuff that he has, as well as the print area. And let the dogs out. Let the camera rest. So see you in the next segment. So this here is the office space where Carvin gets his work done. We're gonna let him tell you more about what he does in here.
All right, guys. So before this printer was here, it was just my office where I kept my RC collection. I like to keep them in the bags on the wall. To me, it makes nice decoration. But here is the printer for RC cut and paste. Prior to purchasing my own printer, again, I mentioned I had a local guy that was printing for me. With RC graphics, you specifically need white ink printers with printing on clear vinyl. So I did a lot of homework, a lot of research. I'm trying to figure out the best printer. Came across a good deal on one, and so it was a good move and a great investment for my team and just in general and producing more of what I do. And so currently right now I have a catalog on Etsy with all the merchandise that we provide for RC Cut and Paste. Aside from that, we do a lot of custom works for different hobby shops, different hobby brands like CrawlerInnovations, and then we also do graphics for different teams. A lot of teams will reach out to us. A lot of tracks will reach out to us to do custom livery works, or even if they just need decal sheets or banners and things like that. And so if you want custom work, you can reach out to us on our social media page. So Instagram is RC Cut and Paste Graphics, and Facebook is also RC Cut and Paste Graphics. You can get in contact with us on either one of those platforms for any custom work. There is a little bit of a turnaround time for any custom work, but if you are interested, please reach out. And so, like I mentioned, this is the printer. What I love about the printer is it is a multifaceted, multi-dimensional printer, and I'm not even using it to its full capacity. And so when you get the printer, they do a big training, and so I can print on magnets, I can print on canvas, pool table felt. There's tons of different materials that we can use to print on, and one of my favorite parts of the printer is the cuts, and that everything can be pre-cut for easy peel and stick application, or if you need to cut out a big one sticker that's already proofreaded and pre-cut. You would think that this was overkill. It's 54 inches wide for RC graphics that aren't that big. But I've also had some work with one scale liveries. So for instance, the same printer I could print these exact same liveries and scale them up to fit a real car.
Nice.
A little bit, the material is different for real cars, and anything for real cars have to be laminated. Now that's a different machine, which I haven't invested in yet because I haven't had too many inquiries. But phenomenal machine, super easy to maintenance, the upkeep of it. These are actually the ink cartridges or the ink bottles. They're 1,000 milliliters, which they last months before I have to replace them. So I can get a lot of work done.
Nice.
Before I have to replace it. Thankfully, I'm in the DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth area, and so getting materials and tools and equipment for printing is super easy and accessible.
Nice. I think that covers anything else that you'd like
Oh,
to
and
add?
I forgot to mention, and then banners. And so I have tons of companies or tracks that will purchase banners to display in their spaces, or wall banners to put on the windows and things like that.
You've made plenty of banners for us now.
Yes, tons of banners for CrawlerInnovations. And so yeah, this is RC Cut and Paste. Again, like I said, it was a side project that turned into a business, and it's been a lot of fun. Again, I know we're wrapping up, but thanks for
Thank you
having
for
me.
the opportunity to come out and share and to hear about your story and hear about Rack City, hear about all the other things that you're interested in and do and offer. So,
And I appreciate it.
Thank
Appreciate the
you.
friendship. Appreciate the business. It's been
likewise,
fun.
it's
Thank
equal. It's equal. And thank you too for your work in the community, all that you do with the young people. You know, each one teach one goes a long way.
Right.
So, big ups to people that do it. It's, we never know who's going to be encouraged through this video, and that's building the community better is always a good thing.
Right. Thank you. Thank
So,
you.
thank you. Well, thank you also for your viewership, and we'll see you on the next video. Double deuces. So,
All right. Bonus footage. We actually killed the camera, and Edmundo saw this one on the wall and was like, honestly interesting body. So it does have a bit of a story to it. But one of the coolest things that I like about this body is that
Oh,
it does have an engine bay installed, and so these engine bays are from DemiWorks. DemiWorks RC actually makes a variety of different engine bays. And this body is a Pandora RC Starlet.
okay.
And so the story behind it is, as I mentioned, my brother and I are in the hobby together, and this was like Christmas break kind of build, holiday break build.
Okay.
One of the things about painting shells for me is it takes time conceptualizing and deciding on what we want to do.
That was my next question. You painted all of this, so oh, whoa! Even the
Yeah, everything's painted. This is no
Oh.
livery. This was the sticker.
Oh.
The sticker.
yeah,
These
yeah,
are
those are.
decals.
But I automatically assumed that this was stickers until right now. Oh man.
No, this is a painted
Did-
TRD style. This is all airbrush, and so we had recently got into the airbrushing
Okay.
as well, which I actually prefer airbrushing, but with team projects, it's just easier to stick with the rattle can for matching up.
What kind of airbrush system did you get? Do you remember?
So my favorite airbrush, it's some cheap airbrush
What's the cheap one?
on Amazon, maybe $15, but it's a high velocity, low pressure airbrush gun. But the nozzle on it is a 0.8 millimeter, which is a little bit bigger than the small hand airbrushes. So those are
Okay.
0.5. This was a 0.8.
Right.
Which
So
means
more material comes out.
when material comes out, it has a huge container on top, so I can take my whole bottle of paint, dump it in there, add a little bit of reducer, and if I'm just doing a solid coat, I can paint it in 3 coats. And paint a
Okay.
whole shell in 3 coats.
Okay.
And so one of my favorite paints to use is Createx. So my brother actually has a matching Toyota.
How'd you get the yellow on the windows?
The yellow is actually a vinyl. So this
okay.
is another little side trick. Not windows, excuse me. Headlight film off Amazon. So this is just car headlight film from Amazon. You stick
Okay.
it, you heat it up, and it's never coming off.
Nice. Very nice build. That's a lot of detail. in
And
that.
so it has full light kits, the engine bay. It's one of the shells that I was kind of being more adventurous, or the first time I actually done an engine bay. Steve at Drift America is a master builder when it comes to shells.
How about y'all?
He's a master. He's a master builder when it comes to shell, and I've taken a lot of inspiration or wisdom from him over the years of painting the shells.
Yeah, his galaxy painted bodies were just amazing. They're really good quality. Well, wonderful. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you, guys.
Great bonus.
Hi.